Hello and welcome to Conjuring Rock. Today I get the opportunity to paddle the Outlaw. Zach and I are out here, we're filming some footage for Frontenac Outfitters. We're gonna be filming some footage of the 120 and the Outlaw so we can do a review for Frontenac Outfitters, but I figured I would give my thoughts on the Outlaw as I paddle it for my first time. I've been paddling my U-Pick for a couple weeks now, really getting the hang of that. I've also had the opportunity to paddle an Attack 120 and a few other fishing kayaks, so I'll give you my thoughts on the Outlaw, at least my first thoughts. Try standing. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm on. Not the species we want though. All right, well, I got a bass. Out of season bass. Big jerk. Had to come and bite. Yeah, it's chunky, that's for sure, man. All right, see you later. So my first thoughts on the Perception Outlaw 11.5. It's a nice boat. I would be happy with this purchase. Considering its price point, it's pretty affordable, and it has a lot to offer for what it's priced at. I mean, you get this silent traction, you get standard rod holders built into it, and the rod holders seem to work really well. The only thing I don't care much for is this elastic band thing that's supposed to, I don't know, keep your rods in place somehow. I don't know, but so they're not super secure there. You may want to add a rod leash or something there. But, oh, I'm trolling. I got to keep moving. Oops. But for what this kayak offers for the price, it's pretty good. Incredibly stable, that's for sure. Within minutes, I was able to stand up feeling pretty comfortable in this, and paddle standing up as well. It paddles decently standing up. The trim of the boat though, as I'm sitting, Zach noticed it seems like proper trim, it's flat. But when I stand, the bow wants to kind of dig down a little bit. So that's not ideal, but not horrible, because you're standing, you're not looking for the performance of moving that well. But even, like I mentioned, like even when I'm standing, I was able to paddle and get repositioned so I can get another couple casts in. So that was nice. Now, since it's so stable, you're gonna have to sacrifice somewhere, so it's lacking in the speed. It's a little sluggish compared to some of the other ones I've paddled, but it's not terrible. I mean, you're not really looking for performance on that end from these kind of kayaks anyways. You're really looking for something to get you out on the water you can fish comfortably out of. And you can do that in this boat. Well, it's got a pretty nice seat position. You're relatively high here, which is good. It gets you up high enough that you can work your rod tip below your waist if you need to. And you shouldn't have any issues there. I'm really hoping to get bit as I go by this rock. We'll see. There's lots of storage for tackle, which is great. Tracking, it seems to track pretty well. The only time I had an issue with tracking was when I was trying to cross this open water here. I had a pretty good cross breeze. The cross breeze wants to grab this kind of blunt end of the kayak. There's a little bit more of the kayak sitting out of the water just behind the seat. So I did find myself having to compensate a little bit more than I would like to in the wind when I'm paddling, trying to stay straight. But again, not horrible. A lot better than a canoe. A lot better than a canoe in the wind. Now, the one thing I find pretty silly about this kayak, and I don't quite understand it. I mean, I kind of do. I can kind of justify it, but I don't like the placement of this gear track right here. This is pretty much the only usable spots, is the last couple inches for anything that's going to stick out like this. If you had like a low-lying fish finder here, that would be good. Or even if you had like your cell phone here or something, something that was low, because when you're paddling, that's exactly where you want to reach. I mean, ideally with kayaking, you're going to be paddling from the tip of your toe to your hip. And I feel like, see, I want to hit the camera. And the rod holder. So I feel like I'm kind of trying to avoid those when I'm paddling. But you do have 4 rod holders right here. So you don't really need to put a rod here unless you want to troll. Another point about the gear track is that you do have these other accessible places to mount something else. So I mean, you're not just limited to this gear track for mounting stuff, and you can always add your own gear track as well. One feature that I really liked about this kayak is when I'm standing up, the front handle can actually be used as a paddle park, and it actually keeps your paddle propped up, so you don't have to bend all the way down to the deck in order to pick up your paddle if you just want to do a couple strokes to get you moving while standing. So that's really nice. Having the paddle accessible like that is pretty key, actually. Oh, nice. Zach's on. Oh, buddy. Nice. A beautiful gator, dude. Yes, right at the boat. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, I saw the hit and everything, man. That was wicked. Oh, I might lose him. Oh, that was so sick. Oh, and the lure just came out. You're chunky. Come here, just for your photo op, and then we'll get you back. I promise. I promise. You'll be more lucky than Zach's gator. Thanks. Oh, look at the head on you. You are such a beautiful fish. So gorgeous. And you are healthy. Super good size. Nice. Wicked, man. Dude, that hit was incredible. Love that. As for the maneuverability, it's pretty good. I'm only comparing this to my own kayak just as a base of reference. But with my own kayak, I can usually get it 180 degrees in 2 turns or 2 strokes. And with this one, I can get it to be about, I don't know, like 160 to 170, if that gives you like an idea. Not quite 180, but still pretty maneuverable. Something I have surprisingly got used to are these stationary foot braces. I thought that, it would be a little uncomfortable, but somebody my height at least, it seems to work well. I haven't been getting cramped. I haven't felt like I've got my knees too high. One thing about the wind, it keeps wanting to point me into the wind. So I'll stand up, I'll be wanting to cast into the wind, and by the time I get standing up and get my rod ready to cast, I'm like trying to cast behind me because the boat has turned. It's been about, 3 hours, I think, in the boats. And I've been able to stand, so that makes a difference, but it's comfortable. I'm not having any issues there. The seat can't recline too far back, but as far as it can go back, that's really as far as I would want it. I just don't expect to have naps in this thing. Who wants to? So would I be happy with this kayak if I bought it? If I spent the money on this kayak, would I be happy with it? The answer is yes, I would. It's awesome for one person, especially because it's so light. It's got a lot of features on it. You're not going to be buying a whole lot of extra add-ons and stuff to really get going. I mean, you can basically take this right from the shop and throw it on the water and get going. You really won't need much. You can have your rods with you. You're great. Tons of tackle storage, no problem. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the first paddle impressions of the Perception Outlaw fishing kayak. Again, I would be happy with this. I wouldn't trade it for my boat, but I would definitely be happy paddling this around and getting me fishing. Anyways, hit that like button if you like what you saw. Subscribe to see more. We'll catch you later.